Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Hey, it's Monday and we're back at it again. You're in the No Comfort Zone. This is Dan. Let's get right into it. So I want to ask you this question. So I just saw something the other day. I think I saw it on Lewis Howe's Twitter account. I think it was his. And it was B, C, D. Birth, choices, death. You look on a gravestone and you've got the year the person was born. You have the dash. And then you have the year that they were deceased. That dash is the most important part, isn't it? What you do between when you were born and when you died. And it all comes down to choices. I've made horrible choices. Horrible choices. I've had fun. There's no denying it, but I've paid the price. There's a couple different ways to do it. You can pay up front for it, work hard and earn it, or you can go ahead and have the fun and then deal with the consequences and the fallout and pay for it that way. I think the first part's better. I've done it both ways, and I think rolling up your sleeves and putting the elbow grease and doing the hard work and getting her done is the best way. You have more control of things that way. That would be the proactive way of doing things. The reactive way is putting things off, procrastinating, not committing, not staying ethically true to your outcome, and then getting the results, getting the reward, getting the paycheck, getting the relationship, getting the job even, without paying your dues, and you're going to pay for it in the long run. That's what life's taught me. Funny thing is when we go to the blueprint and we talk about where you're at in your life, this call is pretty interesting because people that get on the call, there's a couple things they realize. One, this isn't a joke. You're either going to be successful, get out of adversity, or you're not. The choice is yours. So if you get on that call with me, there's a commitment, just by making the call and getting on there. It's not a lackadaisical, let's feel good about it. We have a problem to solve. Let's focus on the solution. But what we have to do first is we got to find out exactly what are those choices you made. And you know what? Why? And it happens really quick. You can figure out pretty quickly if you actually just do it on your own. Put pen to paper. Here's the result that I've achieved. Here's where I'm currently at today. Here's what's going on. My relationship is this on a scale of 1 to 10. My bank account is this on a scale of 1 to 10. My job is on a scale of 1 to 10 here. My disposition is on a scale of 1 to 10 here. And then just start asking the questions, why? That's what I did. Why? Why this? Why am I here? Why is this? Why am I here at this point in my life? Why am I in my basement that's all cluttered and full of crap? Why am I extremely overweight? Why am I extremely unhealthy and extremely stressed out when I know better? Why is that? Oh, it's because I made bad choices. Because I made choices that would affect my immediate versus the long term. And what it ended up doing is the more that I did that is the more issues that I ended up having down the road. And when it all came down to it, I got the weight of the world on my shoulders. I collapsed. I couldn't, and no one can. You get so much, you keep putting off things so much until they show up in your life and you realize, you know what, now is the time you got to deal with it. And when you start dealing with it and you realize that's where the work is at, it just keeps coming at you. And then all of a sudden, man, it's something else and something else and something else. Then you're down for the count. It's how you, at that point, what choice do you make? What decisions do you make to get back up, right? What do you do to get back up? And why do you get back up? Do you get back up just to handle the problems? No, I'm going to show everybody I can do this. Yeah, I screwed up, but man, I can make this better. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix it. How are you going to fix it? You're going to work your ass off. You're going to decide what it is exactly that you want. You've already identified how you got there. Now you just have to really decide, what is it you truly want? If you knew you couldn't fail, where are you going with that? And then you got to do a massive action plan. What is that? It's whatever step you can take in that direction. It's not that massive. It's just getting that inertia, getting that start. You know what? Like I said a while back ago before the knee blew out, I'm not upset that my knee blew out. It's making me face realities about where I'm at in my life and things that I can and shouldn't do, right? Things that I can do, but things that I shouldn't do. I got to do things a little bit smarter. I injured my knee because I wanted to go running. I didn't stretch, I didn't prepare. I just went out there and did it. And I ran like I was 18 again, and I couldn't do it very long. And in the end, I got hurt. I got to deal with those consequences now. So I'm doing different exercises and getting myself back there. The biggest thing I learned, though, about all this that it's gone on for the past few months is this. 100% I learned about myself, but I learned about myself not because I finished, but because I started. Because I got to the starting line. I put my fingers on the line. I put my feet in the blocks. A little racing reference for you. I'm not a running, I'm not a racer, but I'm on the starting line and the gun went bang and I ran. I put one foot in front of the other. But more importantly, I got to the starting line. And then I just kept putting one foot in front of the other. And consequences happened because of an injury. Now, how do I pivot off that? It's hard to pivot right now. I got a bad knee. It's horrible too. It's getting better every day, but it's just, man, like I could be so much worse than I am. And I kept thinking about this literally all day yesterday on Sunday as my way to motivate you on Monday is I kept thinking about this over and over and over again. Great attitude. Recently had a sales manager meeting with my people, and I got some text after it talking about the outcome of that meeting. And what somebody mentioned is that, I'm trying to get leaders to step up and actually act as if, and people will follow. That's what my hope is. So I'm really excited about what's going to happen next, and I hope that they can actually get down into it. But I'll tell you what, after that meeting with those people, I felt a little inspired. I'm waiting to get to that electric point in my life, and I'll explain more about that in another podcast, about that feeling of electricity, that feeling of it's all great. And to stay on point with this, what I'm talking about is great attitude, gratitude. And I kept thinking to myself, I really am glad that I had the opportunity to go run, and I really want to go running again. But what am I going to do now? I have the ability to rehab my knee. I have the ability to lose the weight. I have the skillage, the attitude, the skills and habits to change my life. Now, what do I do at this point right now? It's a Sunday, and I was like, you know what? Just have to have a great attitude. I just have a great attitude. And then I've heard it before. I think I heard it by Bob Proctor, or I heard it by Dr. Joe Dispenza. One of those two guys I've heard it from. But I have to work on my gratitude. And it's funny, as soon as I started working on my gratitude, solutions in other areas of my life popped in. The book's been a labor of love, I guess, right? The book has been a labor of love that I'm working through. And I just realized, why did I get stuck in the writing period? Why did I do that? It's a part of my life that I really just didn't want to revisit, but I think it's crucial for the book. I think it's a cornerstone. One of the chapters is they're all important. There's only 6 chapters, I think. Now it was 5, now it's 6. But I got to the point where I'm like, oh, I could spin it this way. That's really the way what's going on now. That's how I take my reality from the past and put it into today. And how can that impact or help somebody in the future? And it's pretty cool that came up. And also about, I started looking online about different ways to rehab my knee, different ways. And I just was like, you know what? There's all solutions everywhere you go. So those choices you can make, you can focus on a couple different things. You could focus on truly how bad it is right now. You could focus on how good it is for you right now. Either way, you're in a comfort zone. Whether you're complaining about how bad it is, you're comfortable doing that and playing the role of a victim. Or you can do it the other way, and you can actually say to yourself, you know what? I'm really comfortable. I've hit a level in my life. Things are good at status quo. I'm good, man. I don't have it as bad as everybody else. And that's just being comfortable and being average. Because what if your greatness is 2, 3, 4 more levels up? That's what this is about. So listen to a lot of different other podcasters about living in this space and talking about this. And everyone's, with adversity. And we have all got that. I have 3 of them yesterday, as a matter of fact. What do you do when adversity strikes? This guy's way doesn't work. This is what one guru says. This is my way, and my way works. And here's another guy who says that, you know what, the only way that you're going to achieve success is this, because they've been doing it for 40 years. And then I listen to Tony Robbins and what he talks about personal development and coaching, and I'm listening to his program, and that guy is like, you know, I've been doing this for 40 years, and then I look in the comments, and there's a bunch of hate going on in there. I've been listening to Tony Robbins since the 90s, since the 90s, and I'm thinking to myself, I have nothing foul to say about him. I like the guy. He's done good to me. Then they're like trying to create some, you know, they're trolls on there saying bad things. And I'm like, you know what? It really is, no matter where you go, no matter where you turn, I've got a ton of mentors that have helped me get to where I'm at right now. But really what it comes down to isn't what they have to say or what they have to do. It's what are the choices that you're making. If I can take something from a podcast and I can listen to that and I can interpret it and put it through my blueprint and offer it to you, that's a good thing. If they can do the same, if they can take something that I'm talking about and they can help their audience and they put their spin on it, that's great. I referenced probably 10 of them and maybe more in this podcast now. It's my hope and my intention to educate you on where you're at in your life right now, to get you that reality check. You know, where are you at right now? Where could you be, man? Where could you be? But most importantly, I want you to wake up. Waking up is the biggest thing. My coach told me that this podcast should be about being woke, because you were a corporate slave for how long, and you were living on the medications and doing all this for 15 years. You were a zombie, and then finally you woke up. And when you woke up, like that movie, what is it? The remote control movie, is it called Click, with Adam Sandler? You know, he passed by his life because he hit fast forward. Well, I was medicated. I was average. And then all of a sudden, one day I just woke up, and that's how I wound up in the basement. That's how I got there. I'm in the basement. I'm so ashamed. I don't even want to go exercise in front of people because I'm so ashamed of who and what I've turned into. And when that reality happened, physically, I beat myself down. Then mentally, I said, you know what, let's figure this out. We've got a problem. What's the solution? Then emotionally, I had to take a trip back to the past and realize why I made the decisions I did. Who are the people that I've screwed over? Who are the people that have screwed over me? And how am I going to make sense of all this? Basically, everything in my life accumulated to one point. All the seeds that I've planted in the past, routed, showed up to that day. My harvest was in, and I didn't like my harvest. It was horrible. But I had to be grateful because, you know what? I did have a house. I did have a basement that was filled with a bunch of crap. I did have a body that could be repaired. You know, woe is me? No, it's like I'm going to take this to the next level. And that's what the blueprint's all about, folks. Listen, there's a lot of people that listen to this podcast, and it's grown, and I appreciate it. Do me a favor, go to Apple iTunes. Please write me a review. Whatever country you're in, please write me a review. Hook me up with a rating. Please write a review. What are you getting out of this? You want to connect on a call, go to Dan at the No Comfort Zone. We'll figure it out. Go to Dan at the NoComfortZone.com. That's my email. Or go to the NoComfortZone.com blueprint. I'm changing things up so the landing page is different. I'm trying to impact as many different audiences as I can, and I'm seeing what works and what doesn't. And I'll be honest, very few people have called in. There's a few, and we're working. But I'll tell you what, there's so many more people that I know that I can offer some assistance to, because I've been in that spot where just I was average, I was down and out, and I was just thinking, man, there's got to be more to life. And I figured some stuff out, and I could share that with you. And if you see value in it, great. All I want to do is help you get from point A to point B, or better yet, I want from your birth to the decisions that you make to your death, those choices that you make to your death, those choices to be amazing. And you know what? You already have the playbook in front of you right now. It's the mistakes of your past that you can learn from to catapult you into the successful future that you want so much. You know how you're going to do that? You're going to do that by getting out of your comfort zone and living on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.